This is a brief video that shows you a very simple experiment that can be done at home to demonstrate the process of osmosis using potato cells. In order to do the lab, you're going to need a potato, a ruler, knife, measuring cup, we're going to use a half cup, a teaspoon, 2 containers, I'm going to use 2 Pyrex containers, and some iodized salt. So to begin the experiment, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to put a half cup of water in each of your containers. The next step of the experiment will be to take and put a teaspoon of salt into one of the containers. So one of the containers is going to get a teaspoon of salt. The other container, this one right here, is going to just be straight tap water. What we're doing here is we're creating a hypotonic environment and a hypertonic environment. The next step is to go ahead and cut your potato. Be very careful, obviously, with the knife so that you do not cut yourself. You want to make sure that when you cut the potato, that the width of the potato is approximately, so if we measure this, approximately 1/2 centimeter is ideal. Doesn't have to be perfect. This experiment actually works fairly well, even if it's a little thicker or a little thinner. But 1/2 centimeter is sort of ideal. Now, once you've cut this, what we're going to do is we're going to partition the potato into sort of 6 cylinders or rectangles. Maybe that's a little more accurate. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I need one more for a 6th. Now, once I have my 6, because I want to put multiple potato rectangles in each of the dishes. What I now want to do is I want to make sure that I trim the potatoes so that they're each about 2 centimeters in length. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them down so that they are all an equal length. Again, all of them would be 2 centimeters in length. So I'll quickly do that. Once you have them all trimmed down to the 2 centimeters, you are then going to submerge the potatoes, 3 in the hypotonic environment and 3 in the hypertonic environment, for approximately 75 minutes. So as you can see, I'm going to put those 3 into the tap water and those 3 into the salt water. Now, over the 75-minute incubation period, you are going to periodically want to stir the potatoes. So as you can see, right, I'm stirring. Again, it doesn't have to be every minute. It can be every 15 minutes, every 10 minutes. But ultimately, what we want to make sure is that the mixture, the solution is being stirred and the potatoes are getting exposed to the solutions in which they have been placed. Now, once the 75 minutes is up, we are going to remove the potatoes, and I've done this ahead of time so that we could make one video, so I'm going to set these aside. These were my 3 potatoes that were in the tap water, and these were my 3 potatoes that were in my salt water. And what we want to do after our 75 minutes is we want to remove them and we want to measure them. Those that were placed in the hypotonic environment, again, remember these were all approximately 2 centimeters when we began. So this one here still appears to be approximately 2 centimeters. This one here looks a little longer at about 2.2 centimeters. And this one here also looks to be a little longer at about 2.1 centimeters. Again, it's important that we have multiple samples so that we can then take an average, okay? The ones that were submerged in the salt water, so if we go ahead and shake these off, we go in and we ahead and measure those. The first one that we measure here is about 1.8 centimeters. The second one is about 1.8 centimeters. And the third one is about 1.6 centimeters. So as you can see, and we can just simply compare these in regards to their shape and their size, there's quite a difference between those potato wedges that were stuck in the tap water in our hypotonic environment and those potato wedges that were put in our hypertonic, our saltwater solution. So in order to understand what has happened in this experiment, it's important to think about the process of osmosis and water movement. What do we expect to happen when a plant cell is put in a hypotonic environment versus a hypertonic environment in regards to water movement? And that should help in regards to understanding the results that you obtained in this experiment.